Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here with a quick update on the Jonathan Majors story that I told you about yesterday. It broke yesterday that he had been arrested for assault and strangulation, I believe, in an incident involving a female victim that he was with. And so today his attorneys have released a statement where they are professing his innocence and saying that evidence will show that he was actually the victim of an assault, not the perpetrator. And so it says, following an arrest for domestic violence allegations on Saturday, March 25th, representatives for Jonathan Majors says the Creed 3 actor is completely innocent. And it says that Majors' legal team released Sunday, March 26. Attorney Mya Blake said the 33-year-old is provably, I believe is how you pronounce it, the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. And people on Twitter thought that it was a typo. And I'm going to be perfectly transparent here and said I thought it was a typo too. But of course I had to Google the word provably. And it says, in a way that is capable of being proved on provably false claims. Okay. So it goes on to say that we are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. The statement continued. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting the allegations. They say she is taking the story back and put it in writing. Now, of course, people are going to come forth and say he probably offered her some money, or she's having remorse like so many domestic violence victims do. They have an opportunity to think about it, and then they think they love him more than they love themselves, and so they take it back. So that's definitely a possibility here, but we will continue on. The article goes on to say his legal team states that the aforementioned evidence will prove Major's innocence and show that he did not assault the woman, who has only been identified thus far as a 30-year-old. And I told you guys in my last video that the Twitters are saying that she's a white woman. Okay, so that adds a whole nother level to the complexity of the issue. So Majors was arrested Saturday morning at around 11:14 a.m. when police responded to a 911 call at a location in the Chelsea neighborhood of New York City. Officials say a woman alleged that she had been assaulted by Majors in what police are calling a domestic dispute. The New York Police Department said Majors was taken into custody based on allegations of strangulation, assault, and harassment. After a preliminary investigation, police determined that the woman was involved in a domestic dispute and had, quote unquote, sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. So Chaudhry addressed the allegations, stating that the incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis, for which she was taken to a hospital on yesterday. They called Major's arrest standard procedure and added that they expect these charges to be dropped very soon. So in addition to starring in Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Majors was also featured in 2 recruiting advertisements for the U.S. Army. Those ads have been pulled in the wake of the allegations. Laura DeFrancisco, Public Affairs Chief for the Army Enterprise Marketing Office, said in a statement, the U.S. Army is aware of the arrest of Jonathan Majors, and we are deeply concerned by the allegations surrounding his arrest. The statement reads, "We recently released 2 ads in which Mr. Majors appears. While Mr. Majors is innocent until proven guilty, prudence dictates that we pull our ads until the investigation into these allegations is complete." And so they are the first people to pull away from Mr. Majors. I haven't heard about any other, any of the projects that he was working on being stopped or him being removed or anything like that. And then someone had commented on the video that I did yesterday. I forgot that he was in that show on HBO called, what was the name of that movie? Let me find the post. Was it Love Country? Hold on a second. Let me find this post. Okay, Dally Info 2006 commented on the video I did yesterday saying that he's also Kang in Marvel and he was in Lovecraft Country. I've never watched any of the Marvel movies. However, I loved Lovecraft Country, so there was no reason for me to have overlooked that about him. And then also he was the subject of a story not too long ago because he appeared in a magazine. I can't remember if it was Essence or Vogue. I hate when I think of this stuff while I'm doing the video and then want to include it. But whichever one it was, there was controversy about, they had him dressed in feminine attire. And, of course, people say that in order for black men to make it in the industry, they, have to, become feminized or portray a transgender or something like that in order for them to move up. And so there was a big discussion about that not too long ago. And it was actually Ebony. But I'll put a picture in this video and let you guys see what they were talking about in that instant. Was it Ebony? I don't think it was Ebony. I guess it was Ebony. But anyway, I'll put the picture in here so you guys can look at it. But let me know what you think about this information that's coming out, where it seems like, he was just arrested because there was an allegation and then some type of evidence that this woman had been abused. But in reality, people who were witnesses, and there seem to have been multiple witnesses, are saying that, the story was the other way around. He was protecting himself from her and that she was in some type of emotional crisis, emotional breakdown. So go ahead, leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And as promised, I will stay abreast of this story until its conclusion, and let's see what happens with Mr. Majors and his career. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.